So this is really fun. I'm so excited. I'm here with my fellow YouTuber, Paleo and PaleoSteno, and we are here to talk about the My Little Pony movie that just came out this last weekend, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, I'm PaleoSteno. I do a bunch of videos on like movies and mainly animation stuff, but I do some videos on other things as well. Actually, something related to animation I did recently was a review on Cuphead, which is the 30s like animated video game that came out, which is very fun.
Yeah, I saw that. I hadn't heard of it until I saw your video, so that was pretty cool. And you do some podcasting as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and you kind of started with My Little Pony, kind of your YouTube. Is that correct?
Yeah, back in like 2011, I created a channel, and at first I didn't know what I was going to do. I just wanted to make some videos, and then I started watching the Friendships Magic, the first season, because I just was in the mood to like watch something cute for some reason. Okay, and I saw it like around the internet, so I was curious, and I started watching it back when like all the episodes were on YouTube. And I watched it like in a weekend, and I was like, hey, I really like this. And then like the second season was about to start, so I got really into it and started reviewing the episodes, and that's sort of how I got to where I am now, because I started reviewing a lot of the episodes, and then I made a big video, and then I found a bunch of other people like Saber, because he started with that as well. So a lot of the friends I have now, I was friends with back then when I started my old channel, which I started a new channel, and that was more like on just general animation. But yeah, the pony stuff is really where I started.
So what do you think was the initial appeal of the show to so many different people?
I think it's just like a lot of it is just how unexpectedly good it was. Because a lot of people were going into it, especially after the Generation 3, which was a lot more kid friendly. Like the animation wasn't quite as fantastic as it is in Generation 4, and I guess like there's just that stigma of ponies being like super like kiddie and like preschool type thing, and then like with Generation 4, it's like, oh, this is a bit more like a Cartoon Network show or something. So I think that was a big appeal to a lot of people.
What do you think particularly inspired sort of the whole brony phenomenon for it to be particularly appealing to young men? Or to
I'm not sure. I think it's just like I said, it's the surprising nature of the show. So
yeah, and I've been thinking about it a lot, because there's obviously, whenever anything becomes popular, there's always a backlash. It's it's always the worst thing ever to some people, and certainly you got that with ponies. And I think I think the backlash, I think there's a little bit of sort of, I don't know what the word you'd want to use, a little bit of sort of a sexism with it. Like, nobody has any problem with, you go to Comic-Con, there are a million guys, playing with Star Wars, toys, or Transformers, or whatever it is. No one has any problem with that. But the idea of a man interested in something that's supposed to be for girls, now that's something that some people can't handle.
Yeah, Saber Spark and I actually did a two-part documentary that's on his channel called The Brony Chronicles, and we actually go over a lot of the first part is about, I guess, the show itself and its inception, and then the second part is more about the brony like thing becoming a thing in the community itself. So we interviewed like a bunch of people, and then like did a bunch of research of I guess Hasbro's history, as well as the history of I guess different stigmas between like boy toys and girl toys. So and how like people view that. So and My Little Pony is definitely like the one of the toys that is like stigmatized to be in like the pink aisle. So a lot of people are a bit weirded out by it. I still see people that are like, bronies, that's weird, but after like so many years, it feels like it's calmed down a bit. it's definitely not as bad as it was in the beginning when it was first starting. But now people are just like, whatever.
Yeah,
Like
just
what
like
you
what you
like.
like.
Yeah.
Who cares? Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I really enjoy the show. I have not. I have 3 seasons on DVD. I'm pretty behind. I'm like I kind of stopped after like season 4, and
Really?
so I
Hmm.
need to kind of get back at it. But I don't know. I just kind of lost
Yeah.
track.
Because I got into it. And I continued watching it. I never really stopped watching it. Um, because I still want to get the DVDs at some point because there's a lot of shows that I have not had physical like copies of. I just have physical copies of movies right now, but I definitely want to get some shows on DVD. But
Mm.
the show itself, because after season 4, season 5 that introduces Starlight, which becomes more of a main character with the other main 6. And then
Mm-hmm.
season 6, a lot of people were kind of like apprehensive about, but season 7 has been really good, like the best since season 2. So, and
Oh
I
wow.
think with that combined with the movie being out, people are a lot more into it. Because recently I was talking to Saber about this. I was looking on Google Trends how the search terms for My Little Pony and Brony went up like a big spike after this weekend because of the movie.
Mm.
So, and I guess that combined with this season 7 because, like I said, season 7 has been really good.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. Definitely. Yeah, I do think that they were a little late on this movie. I think if it had come
Yeah,
out like 2 years ago, I think it would have done a little bit better.
yeah. When I was looking at the trends, uh, My Little Pony, the search terms for that, it peaked around like end of 2014, beginning of 2015. That was like the big peak. That was actually the big peak of a lot of animated shows because that was a peak
Mm.
for Adventure Time as well.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm wondering like why that time for animated shows. So I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. Then I think that Equestria Girls was a little bit of a mistake too. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
hate the
a
show,
lot.
but I think it kind of dampened enthusiasm a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people were really upset about that, including myself. But now I've kind of laid off it because the sequels were better than the first one. Like, I really like Rainbow Rocks. I
Hmm.
still like hum a lot of the songs from that. And now I'm okay with like they're having like this spin-off series that they're doing because they had a few specials rather than a fifth movie. And now they're going to do another like little series because I do really like what they did with Sunset.
Mm.
So.
So, do you have a favorite of the main 6?
Yeah, Twilight. I actually bought this at BronyCon. It's a little phone charm.
Oh, cute.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is Applejack's. Is my favorite. I think she's really fun. I always like her stories. So, okay, well, let's talk about the movie then. So, what were your? I saw your review today, but what were your overall thoughts about the film? Your overall response?
um, I I liked it. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, that was pretty good. And then after I started humming a lot of the songs, I was like, okay, I can't get this out of my head now.
Yeah.
A lot of it is definitely for the fans because there's a lot of stuff in the background that unless you're unless you're a fan of the show, you're not going to know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I've seen some people comment on how like they enjoyed it even though they've never seen it. So hopefully that does bring in some more viewers because I know that one thing Hasbro wanted to do is for this movie to bring in more viewers to the show. I think the movie, um, while it's sort of separated from the series itself, it's I think it stands all right on its own, but it really helps if you've actually seen at least a season of the show.
Yeah.
So
I think so. I think that it might feel a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little bit boring if you don't have some investment in the characters and kind
yeah,
of, and not all of the characters get really fleshed out.
yeah,
So, like something like one of my complaints about the movie is Applejack's and Fluttershy have like almost no dialogue at all.
yeah. Fluttershy barely has anything.
Yeah.
Like my favorite song from the movie is the first song they sing, "We Got This," and like every pony in the main six has a part in that song, and I think that's why I like it. But Fluttershy's part is like so minuscule compared to everybody else's.
Yeah.
So yeah, like she has like a couple lines. That's it.
Yeah. So
and it's just the chorus.
yeah, I don't understand why they chose to focus so much on Pinkie Pie instead of someone like Fluttershy or Applejacks, which I think are more sort of user-friendly. I think particularly to have Pinkie Pie so forward in the trailers, I think was a mistake, because if you don't have any investment in her character, you don't know, she can come off as kind of shrieky, I think.
Yeah, I think it's because I mentioned in the review that I think they know who's the most popular as far as like sales go. So they wanted to have more Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie, and those are the three that are focused on the most in the movie.
Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, I was just like, I don't know. People are going to think this is a really like shouty kind of, but it's really not. The series especially is not like a shouty, because sometimes that's what I don't like about a lot of the Cartoon Network sort of shows, is I feel like they're very like, very like shouty to the screen, and I find them kind of exhausting after a little while. Even something like Rick and Morty, which I think is totally brilliant, I can only handle so much of it before it's just kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't have that problem with My Little Pony. It balances tone, I think, and feel very well.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought, I came out to think, because I knew that it would have music, but I didn't think it would have so much music. Like I thought it might be sort of like the Smurfs Lost Village, which I find to be very underrated for the year. And I thought that, I think that movie had like 3 songs, something like that. But this was a lot of songs, and they were so well executed. They had Broadway level talent singing the songs, and after like, I feel like I've had a couple years of musicals where, I guess not Moana, but aside from Moana, I just feel like I've had all these musicals where I'm like, it wasn't very good. It wasn't very well done. It wasn't a good, that good of a song. It wasn't that well performed. And here they did a good job, man. I loved the songs.
Yeah, not including the very, very first song, which is like the Go-Go's cover. There's like 6 songs in total that they sing.
Yeah.
With the ending song being the Sia song. So.
Yeah. The animation. And one thing I wanted to ask you about is, I kind of feel like we have lost the value of like what I would call the old school cartoon. Where there's like a sniveling villain, who's bad, and the hero's kind of going on a journey and whatever. And I don't know. I feel like I knew that this movie would get criticized as because of some of those things. I knew the villains would get criticized. I knew some people would say it was very generic, but I found the same thing with Smurfs Lost Village, which to me had sort of an old school cartoon kind of feel to it. Yeah. And like everything has to be a surprise villain these days. Everything has to be sort of layered and whatever. And sometimes I miss just having a fun cartoon.
Yeah. Well, with the Storm King, a lot of people's criticisms with him is that like he just wasn't there a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think if he was more there in the beginning, people wouldn't be too critical of it. But there are the prequel comics which I read. And they're kind of okay, but it would have been better if they had it in the movie. But it would be kind of weird to have the prequel comics in the movie because it starts out a lot darker. So starting out like that would be very strange for the movie.
But even just Tempest, like she was a clear villain from point one, whereas like the last probably 6 Disney films since Tangled has been the villain revealed at the last minute. You don't think they're the villain. Oh, they turn out to be the villain. And I just kind of miss the old school, like, ha ha, I'm going to, and that just to me is fun, but I don't know. I don't feel like that's in vogue right now. I liked Tempest quite a bit. I thought that she was fun, and basically like the basic plot of the movie for people. I guess I should say spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But basically, the plot of the movie is that Tempest, there's this friendship festival, and Tempest comes, spoils the festival, and then the main six have to go and find the queen of the hippogriffs. And along the way, they meet all these various characters. They meet this cat that's this con artist named Capper, these pirates, these sea ponies, that until they end up being able to confront Tempest. And it's just an adventure. And and I don't know, what did you think about all these people they meet along the way, these characters I should say?
One thing I was afraid of when the movie was announced, or I guess not announced, but like they announced some of the actors that would be in it. I was like, oh, I hope they don't like overshadow like the main VAs.
Yeah.
But thankfully that didn't happen. Because the main VAs do really get all the credit they deserve in this. And like with the new characters, like with Capper and Captain Solano, they were fun. Like they show up, do what they need to do, and then they show up at the end again. So
now, one review I read said that it like broke the pony rules by having anthropomorphic characters. I don't remember that being a rule. Is that true?
I don't think that's a rule. Because I could have sworn there have been sort of like that. I mean, I guess Iron Will's like a minotaur, but Yeah,
they were acting like it was this huge thing. Like, how can you have this in this world? It's totally ridiculous. But I'm like, really? Okay. Didn't bother me.
There was some weirder stuff in the show.
Yeah. I thought the Capper was fun. I don't know. I guess I can see people's point where it does feel a little cluttered at times. And I do agree that I don't think you needed to have I think you could have just had Tempest. You didn't need to have the Storm, whatever, I forget his name all of a sudden, the
Storm King.
Yeah. Storm King, that you didn't need to have him. Like, she was enough for the villain.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder if maybe they cut some of him out, because it did seem like he was in it very, very small for being supposedly the main villain.
Yeah.
What did you think of Tempest?
I really liked Tempest.
Yeah.
She was a lot of fun, and I do really like her song. A couple of my friends said that they criticized the song a little bit because because she says "open your eyes" a little too much. Because like I'm not sure how many times it's said in the actual song, but I mean I still like it. I mean, though criticizing that for saying that too much is kind of like saying like, well, you said fire too much in Hellfire.
Oh, okay.
If that's accurate, that's even more hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, so she had this horn, but it had been taken by the Storm King, right? Or where was it the friends?
No, it's in her little flashback where she's showing where she was playing with her friends.
Right.
They lost the ball in a cave where there was an Ursa Minor. So which is like a big constellation bear, and it swiped her horn, like gave her the scar, and her horn went missing. And then afterwards, like she tried to play with her friends again, and she just ends up like blowing up stuff with her horn because she can't control it. So
right. Did they ever explain in the show? I can't remember why some of them have horns and some of them don't.
It's just the different races of ponies. Like there's the Earth ponies, unicorns, and Pegasus or Pegasi, I guess. And then alicorns become a thing. I guess they can't. Well, other than there's like a season 6 thing where Princess Flurryheart is an alicorn. Like there's only 4 alicorns, except for this other alicorn who's born. Because there's never been an alicorn that was born. We're getting into like the lore stuff now.
Yeah, so like I said, they meet the Capper who helps them to find the hippogriffs who are underwater. Am I getting my things? Anyway, I've only seen it once, so but so anyway, and there's this whole problem that develops because the group becomes very upset with Twilight because she kind of gets them banished from the queen's presence.
Yeah,
and
like during a song, where Pinky is having fun with Princess Skystar, which is one of the hippogriffs, or I guess they're the sea ponies.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, they're the sea ponies. But then there's this whole song number because Twilight says, "No, you should like go have fun and do stuff, while I go over here and steal this thing." So yeah, that gets them in trouble with the queen there, and they kick them out.
And then they basically they get very upset with Twilight.
Yeah, like that's probably like one of the more emotional moments like that has happened within the series.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect to have like anything like that in the movie, because there's been like some emotional moments in the show before, but I don't think anything like that intense would happen, and I enjoy it. I for some reason enjoy when characters cry. So seeing that was like, all right, I like this movie a lot.
Yeah, did that seem I guess earned that they would do that they would be so kind of harsh on her for that?
Mm-hmm. Especially since like she's the princess of friendship, she shouldn't be like doing this stuff. Right. But I think because people were complaining, I've seen people complaining that it was out of character for Twilight, but you see throughout the movie that she learns that outside of Equestria, things are completely different than they are back home.
Right.
So she can't act the same way.
That's true. And she was just trying to get the information and just trying to, it wasn't intentional that she wasn't trying to hurt her friends. But it leads in nicely to hearing Tempest's story about her experience, because she's this ostracized from her friends, and now she's hearing Tempest's story about being ostracized from her friends.
Right.
We basically get the ending. So the reason why Tempest is doing what she's doing is she's made a deal with the Storm King that he will give her back her horn after she does all this stuff, and because he wants to get all of the princesses,
right,
and be able to use their power. And so she thinks that he will give her back her horn. And of course, it turns out that no, he has no intention of doing that.
Yeah.
And so she kind of ends up turning on him and kind of helping the main six by the end, and kind of gets a redemption.
Yeah.
And I guess, did you think that was earned? Did you like that?
Yeah, I think so. I liked it. One thing that people complain about with the show is that way too many villains are like reformed.
Uh-huh.
But for this, I think it was appropriate because like it's sort of a theme throughout the show. So we kind of get both, because Storm King, he's gotten rid of, and then Tempest, she becomes one of them, I guess. So
yeah,
we're on their side.
Cool. I liked it. I thought it was very sweet, and it's in its way. It's kind of, you've also seen the girls, the main six, come back to defend Twilight, and so there's some nice moments there, and also for Tempest to realize that there really is such a thing as real friends, and not everybody's going to be a bully and be mean. And so I thought that was very sweet. And overall, I was just very entertained by the film. I thought that I loved the animation. I think it's so weird in the animation fandom, the way people complain about Flash animation. It's like there's like, I don't like Flash animation. I don't understand that.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, this isn't even in Flash. It's I believe it's Toon Boom.
Okay.
They had to like completely because there's a making of on YouTube of the movie. And they were talking about like moving over to this different program. They had to like redo a whole bunch of stuff, and like I guess like remodel a lot of things because the animation in this is a lot smoother than it is in the show.
Yeah, it was brighter too. The
Yeah, it's
colors were more sort of
like the animation is a lot more. You can tell that it's more frame by frame than the show is. Um, and since it's a movie, I think it's done on ones, so it's like has very smooth movement. And
I
there's
just I just feel like any kind of animation can be good or bad. Like
right.
I've seen like one of the worst movies I've ever seen, Eight Crazy Nights, is hand-drawn animation.
Oh
It's
yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
So like people put hand-drawn animation on this like pedestal, like it's so great. And you know, CG can be amazing, Wall-E, and you know, things like beautiful animation, and CG can be horrible. And
Yeah.
you know, Norm of the North, and Flash can be good, Flash can be terrible. You know, you got like and everything in between. You have great stop motion, you have horrible stop motion, you can have great motion capture, whatever kind of animation you use. In the end, it's all about, just like with live action, you can have great black and white movies, you can have terrible black and white movies. Like it's all about the story and the act, you know, the performances and the everything else that goes into making something good. The medium that you use it doesn't really, to me it's irrelevant, really, personally. So I don't like the fact that they did bring back pretty much all the voice talent for this movie. I think that was really cool, very respectful of the vocal talent. And it doesn't matter. Like, we don't need the celebrity voice actors are so irrelevant, at least to me. There's every once in a while, like I think The Rock was the perfect choice for to play Maui. He's perfect.
Yeah.
But I still didn't go to the movie to see The Rock. I went to see a Disney movie. There's hardly any times when I'm like, I love this person so much. I do love Idina Menzel, so maybe a little bit there with Frozen, but that's pretty rare. Like I just think it's such a waste. And so why not use these great vocal talent, voice actors and actresses that do such a great job? And you know, I don't know, it drives me crazy when I'm watching these animated trailers and there's like what I call like the celebrity card at the end, where they're like in the Star trailer, where it's like boom, 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 boom. Like
like for because at the end you see all the VAs for everything, and the big time actors, and I think all of them had almost all of them had a singing part, because Taye Diggs did, Kristen Chenoweth did,
Zoe Saldana,
I didn't know that they could sing. At least Taye Diggs and Zoe Saldana. And actually looking at the making of, they were, because Taye Diggs, I think he had sung before.
He actually got his start on Rent. That's how he was originally discovered, was on Rent. So he's a Broadway star. But for Zoe Saldana, I had no idea she could sing.
Apparently, like, she didn't either. Because on the making of, like, they asked like if she could sing, and like she did it. So that's interesting. So Gamora can sing, I guess.
Musical. That's what they should do to make us want to go see Avatar sequels.
Oh man, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 should be a musical.
That would be much better. But yeah, I mean, and I'd forgotten that Emily Blunt could sing, because of course she's in Into the Woods, but I just completely forgot about it. I was like, oh my gosh, she has a good voice. Really good. I liked the score. I actually went home and bought the soundtrack. I enjoyed it so much. I mean, oddly enough, I thought the weakest song was probably the Sia song, not because it was a bad song. It just I didn't feel like it really fit.
It felt more like the end of Zootopia, where you hear Shakira play. It's like that kind of ending. So
yeah, I know. It did have the total like party at the end of the animated film, which I think is the weirdest trope. Like, how did that get started? I guess Shrek?
Shrek started it.
Toy Story 2 has it. Happy Feet has it. Like, all of these animated films.
Wait, Toy Story 2 has it?
Which one? Yeah, Toy Story 2. That's the penguin starts to sing.
Oh. Well, I guess they started it then, because that was before Shrek.
Toy Story 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that was
99.
before Shrek.
Shrek was 2001.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So I guess it's all Pixar's fault. But yeah, it's so weird. It's the weirdest trope. They pretty much all the Illumination movies have it here, and at least it kind of makes sense because they start out with a party, and so like they're ending with a party.
Yeah, because they want to like have the party, and then okay, they're having the party at the end. There we go.
Yeah. So I don't know if you were to say like between like a 1 to 10, like what do you think you would give? Like, how would you rank this movie?
This hard because I never give my reviews ratings. But I would say probably 7 out of 10 because there's things I would try to improve about it, but overall I really liked it.
Yeah. What are some of just a few of those things that you would improve?
Storm King, I think he needs a lot more development in the beginning. And for people who never even watched the show, definitely more development for the main 6.
Yeah.
Just so you know who they are.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my main criticism, I do agree on the Storm King, and my main criticism would be just not enough spread around the different main 6. They got a little bit more dialogue. It's weird
though because like I'm not sure how they would fit all that in since the movie is. I mentioned this in my review, but the movie is like an hour and 38 minutes, which is like a lot longer than I would expect it to be. Because there's a lot of other like animated movies that are much shorter. And for this one, I was thinking about this would lean more towards the like hour and 10-minute animated movie type of thing, but it was like, it's leaning more towards the hour and 40-minute type of animated movie. So like Pixar length. So
yeah, they probably could have cut it down a little bit, but I don't know. I would have maybe taken a few lines away from Pinkie Pie and given them to some other characters, I guess is what I would have done. But
I might be biased because like Pinkie Pie is like my second favorite of the main 6.
Oh, really? Yeah. I just think she's just not the most digestible for non-fans sometimes. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, she's great. And so, I'd probably give it, I was really high in it when I first came out, but then I 90% of the time that's me. I'm either really down and then I kind of come up, or I'm really high and I kind of come down just a hair. Yeah. But for me, I would probably say maybe 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and it made me want to get back and watch the show again because I just this is joyful.
If you stopped at like season 4, there's a lot to catch up on, like some very big episodes too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's just a joyful. There's just so much negativity now, and I just felt like, that was just joyful. That made me happy. So that's all you can really ask for in something like this. So, well, thanks for joining me on this. I really appreciate it. It was fun to talk.
Yeah, no problem.
Talk with you. And so, where can people find you?
PaleoSteno on YouTube. You can just search it in the search bar, and you'll find me. And also PaleoSteno on Twitter. So and I post daily. So
I'll have links to all that in the description section. You can check out, and you can find me at Rachel's Reviews on YouTube and at Smiling LDS Girl on all social media. And my blog is 54 Disney Reviews, and so a lot of fun stuff. And I do a family movie night every Sunday, so look forward to that. This month we're on our Disney Scares month, and so I'll be reviewing Toy Story of Terror, so it should be fun.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's really, actually, it was a lot better than I even remembered. It was really good.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that because I bought the Blu-ray of it just to watch it, and I was like, oh, this feels like it could be a legit show.
Yeah. I think so. We don't want to get too much, but I just really liked the way it's about conquering your fears and Jessie conquering her fears, and it felt like real. And so it was very good. So anyway, that'll be fun. Something to look forward to this Sunday. So thanks again. And check out Paleo's channel, subscribe to him, and we will hopefully talk again soon.